Hey guys, this week we focused on Chapter 6, more specifically our programming problem 6.9. Write a program that computes and prints the average of the numbers in a text file. You should make use of two higher order functions to simplify the design. And here's an example, and here's our expected output based on the numbers text that it gave us. And then my Python file is average.py. So let's get into that. All right. So it wanted us to use the two higher order functions. I could have done this a lot simpler, and I did in the MindTap exercise, but I just decided to break it into two separate functions. But I could have just put these together and got my average and returned my average down here as one. So up here is my total function, total funct, uh, and then my count function, which is going to get my count. So let's go down here. So if we're referring to the main, I'm going to set up my variable vname, just a random variable name of file. And I'll go over why I used this and changed it from file name, which is what I used in MindTap. But more on that later. Input, user prompts the user to enter the input file. And once they do, it comes down here to this print function, which has the averages, and then it calls on these two functions up here. So it divides the total by the count. So first, we're going up to the total function, and we're taking vname with us, which is the input that the user entered. So we take that up here, setting my total variable to 0, and then I open the file. So the whatever file they gave me, which is vname, reading it as file, and for each line, we're going to go through, split it up, and so basically separate each of the numbers by the white space. We're going to get that total for each of those things, add it, run through again until we're out, and that's going to be a float because if we're dividing by a lot of numbers, you can't always expect to get a pretty integer, so that's why we're floating that. And then we're returning the total. Down here with the count, we're doing the exact same thing, pretty much, except we're returning an integer. So running through our file name that the user entered, setting count to 0, reading that file that they gave us, and for each line, we're just counting the objects that we're getting from the split, and then we return that count. So then we're able to come back down here where it's calling on those functions, divide the total by the count to give me my average. And I could have set this up here in between print, and it would call on it before I even get to the print function, but this is what I've done. And just to show my numbers text that it gave me, those three numbers. So let's go ahead and run this. Numbers text. And there's our average, 69.833, repeating. I want to explain why I changed this to vname, and because I originally just had it in there as a generic file name, just file name, and that was not vibing with VS Code, and I thought I'd broke it. I deleted it, pasted everything back in, kept doing that, and what it is just VS Code refers to file name as something else. So I guess MindTap did not pay attention to that method, even though it was running in MindTap. I don't know why it didn't work in here, but that's why I switched this to vname. And then I just broke out the functions just to, because it wanted me to use two higher order ones, and just wanted to show I could do it. That's it for this week. Thank you.